is up? What is up, good people? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Kelvin coming back at y'all, man. Salute to everybody out there. So we got a new video here. This is a conversation. Me and my boy Mark, he came through. We talked about Juju Watkins, college basketball, women's college basketball, definitely not no men. Women's college basketball, and this is a honest conversation that we had about Juju, how she's been playing this year, and how she ended the year last year. So open your minds, relax. Me and him just having a conversation. We both are big fans of Juju, but we had a honest and real conversation about some things that Juju's been doing. So relax, enjoy the conversation, and I'll be back after the conversation is over for some final thoughts. All right, first up, we're gonna talk about women's college basketball. Juju Watkins. She's been kind of the talk of the internet the last week or so. USC had a nice win against UCLA. Juju went for what? 38? 38 points, 8 blocks. Great game. They had a nice win today. Who did they beat? Michigan State?
Was it Illinois?
No, they beat Michigan State, then they beat Illinois. Okay. Yes. Okay, yeah. So they had a top 25 Illinois team they beat today. And, Juju, she's been playing all right the last few games, but we kind of want to set the record straight because there's been a lot of hype and stuff like that, but I don't think people really been really digging deep into what Juju's been doing this year and how she played at the end of last year. So you go ahead and give your thoughts.
All right. First off, what's up, good people? We gonna jump right to it like there's nothing to it. And so as I always talk with me and KB, when we're talking about the women's game of basketball, it's been a lot of raving about Juju's game. And first of all, I know it's gonna come off as if I'm hating on Juju or if I don't like her. That's not the case. I actually like Juju a lot. I always tell KB every time, and I've been telling him this for about a year, she's easily the most talented player that I've seen in women's basketball. If I had to compare her to an NBA player, she's like the woman version of Kobe, but it's still all potential. And everybody's already just putting a crown on her head as if she is the woman's version of Kobe. When the 38-point game against UCLA, that was easily her best game. And if you look at her stats and everything of that nature, you see that was like her best game of field goal percentage, 3-pointers, all the shots she was making. A lot of them were difficult, like the one everybody raved about when she fell down, then she pulled up from like 27, 28, and she knocked it down. Great shot. But those are low percentage shots. Very low percentage shots. And she shoots a lot of mid-range, tough, difficult shots like Kobe and Carmelo, which would explain why she has a very, very, I would say, not low, but inconsistency when it comes to her field goal percentage. Like even today, what was her field goal percentage? It was 6 for 16?
6 for 16 today.
Yeah, 6 for 16. And she has a lot of games like that. Typically though, she shoots more than that. Typically it's around the 20, 21, 22 shots a game, but it's very common for her to be 8 for 20, 7 for 22, things of that nature. I think she needs to go to the hole more. That's what I think, because she has the ball handling ability to get there, and she's taller. She's much taller than every other guard. So if she can get to the hole and be more creative and go to the line a lot more like she did today. I see she was 10 for 10 at the line. But every time I look up, it's like the public is just waiting on her to have a big game. Everybody's just waiting. Soon as Juju have a 38-point game, oh my gosh, she was better than Cheryl Swoops, Caitlin Clark, Maya Moore. But if you were to go look at her games before that, it was like the games before that 38 was like 17 to 14, 27, 20, 16. You didn't hear anything about her. But soon as she hit 38, oh my God, the world just took by storm that she's better than everybody. And I'm like, that's just not the case right now. What you think, KB?
Yeah, okay. Well, look, everybody know last year I talked about Juju, I raved about her, and nobody was talking about her. All y'all that's listening, y'all was talking about Angel Reese and running behind LSU and sucking off on them last year. And I was talking about Juju. I'm a big fan, but you brought something to my attention last year, and I think I was just too much into being a fan of her and not really paying attention to what you said. And you said last year, the second half of the year, she went downhill after she scored that 50-point game, 51 against Stanford. And I didn't realize that until I went back and looked at it, that she did. And then another thing, people, I know what, Juju, she's in the running for all these awards and type stuff this year, but in my opinion, she does not deserve to be in any conversation for any kind of women's player of the year in college, to me, because she's been doing a lot of stat padding. Her numbers this year, I'm sorry, I'm a fan. I got nothing but love for Juju, but
they're inflated.
They're very inflated. She's been stat padding. These 50-point blowouts, 40-point blowouts. She be in the fourth quarter, jacking shots and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, she does not deserve to be in the running for any type of awards this year. It's just my opinion. People gonna disagree because it's Juju and she's very talented,
and she's very likable. That's the main thing.
Very likable, very nice young lady, but gotta keep it 100. Like I said before, and I've said it on many videos, it does not matter if I'm a fan of you or not. I'm gonna call it down the middle, and I have to call it down the middle. Juju this year has not had a good year. I don't care what nobody say. I'm looking at her field goal percentage right now. What was it, 41%?
Yeah.
No, that's no. So let's go back to last year. Sorry, I had to interrupt the conversation to jump in real quick, but I need to put this in the video. I'm about to read these shooting stats for Juju. For whatever reason, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but when I was reading the stats, I was reading the wrong column. And so the stats I'm about to read in this conversation is going to be just her 2-point percentage. It's not including 3-point shots. But later on in the video, I do go back and correct it, but I had to jump in and interrupt. So as I'm reading this, y'all will know that I made an error reading. I was reading the wrong column anyway, but you'll see it on the screen and I go back and correct it. We had a big game, 51 points against Stanford. Let's just go through her stats and people will see. And I'm gonna put it up on the screen where y'all can see it, and you'll see these shooting splits is hard, because she's known as a scorer, shoot first. So let's go through it. After the 51-point game, she was 10 for 19. That's fine.
Solid.
10 for 20.
That's solid. We'll take it.
7 for 17. That's 41%. 9 for 17. 4 for 25. 6 for 12. 9 for 24, 5 for 15, 9 for 17, 5 for 8, 8 for 21, 2 for 12, 7 out of 12, 5 for 13, 6 for 17, 7 for 19. And that's after the 51-point game. She probably had 4 good games after that. And to end the season, and that's going through the tournament and everything. All that. She had 1, 2, 3, 4 good games. 5. 5 out of about 15 games. That was good. She ended the season probably shooting, in the low 40s? In the upper 30s?
Yeah, I would say about 39.
And it's like you said, she's taking these difficult shots. with defenders all on her, and she just got to get better, man. Go ahead. I don't want to.
It's one of those things that when it goes in, it look great and it looks special. It's like, oh my God, look at that shot. Look at that beautiful stroke. Look at her form. And that's great. All that is what everybody says it is. It's amazing. But again, they're very difficult shots. And they're not normally made. That's why they're called difficult shots. Just like after that 38-point game against UCLA, you immediately start seeing the shots. Boom. She went out there 38. She was 5 for 14, 10 for 23, 6 for 16. And if you go look, it's kind of the same shot she was shooting against UCLA, but the difference was she was just hitting that game. So it went well. Now she's still shooting the same difficult shots, but they low percentage. That's like today. She was 0 for 4 on shooting threes. The game before that, 2 for 7. And then she had 2 really good games shooting threes, 3 for 6. And then of course against UCLA, the big game, 6 for 9. But before that, she was 1 for 6 shooting threes, 1 for 4 shooting threes, 1 for 7 shooting threes, 2 for 8 shooting threes. And I just stopped right there because, to be honest with you, it was another 8 games where she only made 2. She was like 2 for 3. 2 for 6, 2 for 4, 1 for 5, 3 for 9. So my point is, she takes a lot of difficult shots. But you can see the ability in Juju. You can see that she has the talent and everything else.
No, nobody's taking away from her talent. You know, she has the talent, but like I told you at the beginning of the year, she has the tendency to have tunnel vision. When she gets the ball, she does not want to come up off the ball. She's just determined to score. She don't see the double team well, and she be having these turnovers and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, people. I'm gonna do a separate video breaking it down completely, but there's been a lot of games this year. There's been other YouTubers that spoke about it. Y'all can find it out there, where USC is up by literally 30, 40, 50 points. And Juju's in the game, in the fourth quarter.
4 minutes left.
Jacking up shots, shooting, scoring points. Even early in the year when they played Notre Dame, and Hannah Doggo absolutely dog walked Juju. Juju was in the game the last 3 minutes. She scored about 8 points to make her stats look respectable, but they was down by like 20 points. She stat padded that game.
Rutgers, it was a few games.
It's been a bunch of games this year. If she was not stat padding, her field goal percentage this year would probably be about in the upper 30s.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 37 and 39%. That's how much she been stat padding. I gotta call it down the middle. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all gonna get mad when y'all hear this. And again, this is no hate. I tell the truth. Angel Reese, I don't like Angel Reese. I'll just keep it 100. Juju, I like. But I have to keep it fair and down the middle. Juju has not had a good season this year. I'm sorry. Their team is really good, though. You know, she got a lot of help and stuff like that. But during the middle of the season, they had a very weak schedule, beating up on all these cupcake teams. I'm looking at them now. St. Louis, California Baptist, Elon, and stuff like that. Rutgers not good and all that. And Juju just being in the game, jacking away, man. You know, in the fourth quarter. And, you know, I understand the UCLA game. UCLA is number 1 in the country. They were. And they won the game. Give them credit, but Juju, I'm sorry, does not deserve it.
If you're expecting Juju to make those same shots that she made against UCLA the first time, it's highly improbable, you know. And I'm not saying that she can't make them, but that's the point of them being low percentage shots. The likelihood is that she's not gonna go 6 for 9. Hell, she hadn't went 6 for 9 the whole season shooting threes.
Right.
So why would she go 6 for 9? That just happened to be the game she was hitting, which is fine. She's more than capable of doing it. But let's be real. We're gonna put probability over possibility. We know anything possible, but the probability is really low.
I mean, look at I'm looking at it now. Look at the 3-point shooting coming up, leading up to that 6 for 9. 1 for 8. 1 for 7, 1 for 4, 1 for 6. Like this is terrible 3-point shoot, and she's shooting a lot of threes, 7, 8, 9 3-point shots a game. That's a lot. And you know, she's 6 foot what? 2?
Yeah.
She need to be going to the hole more, man, or posting up or something. And nah, man, I've not been pleased with what I've seen. It's actually been kind of disgusting. And again, I know y'all gonna get mad. I don't care. I gotta tell the truth, man.
It's kind of like what they were doing with Angel Reese in the when she was over there with the Chicago Sky, where they would put her in at the end of the game. They down by 20, and they like give Reese the ball so she can get a double, and it's like she got like 6 points with like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes left in the game. They down by 20. Everybody else out the game, they just throwing it to Angel Reese trying to make sure that she get her 10 points. It's kind of like that where, in all honesty, I think that a lot of it has to do with the public really wants Juju to break the records that they say Caitlin Clark holds. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I think they want to say, oh, Juju Watkins has the most points ever held by a person in their first 2 years, and I think a lot of it is that, because there's really no reason for her to be in when they up 40 points and stuff like that. Well, not even really. She shouldn't be in. Shouldn't even play in the second half when they up by 38.
Right.
You know,
she gonna end up getting injured too. You know.
And that's when they gonna blame.
There was one game this year where she almost got injured. She did get banged up. She fell hard. She was in the game. They was up 40, and I'm just like, this Coach Gottlieb they got like I'm sorry, man. I just been thoroughly disgusted with what I've seen with Juju and the stat pad. I'm sorry, man. I mean, and again, I'm gonna read off some numbers of her shooting, and this is which stat pad? 7 for 18. Let's go back. 6 for 15. 6 for 16. 7 for 18. 9 for 16.
How many minutes did she play in those games, and what was the final score? That'll tell you how much it was stat pad. And if they won by 25 points and she had 30 minutes, that's like, why?
I'm gonna do a separate video.
Okay.
In depth breakdown, but 8 for 19, 7 for 15, 8 for 23, 7 for 19, 13 for 15. Okay, that's against Penn State. Penn State is the worst team in the Big Ten. They don't even count, you know. 6 for 16, 6 for 15, 7 for 24, 8 for 22, 4 for 11, 5 for 21. Okay. UCLA game, 12 for 26, 5 for 14. Everybody was quiet about that game right after the UCLA game.
Yeah.
8 for 16 against Michigan State. I'm sorry, 10 for 23 against Michigan State. 5 for 14 for the Washington game. And she was 6 for 16 today. Just like, dude, I don't know.
It's like what it's really been, and it's like I've told you many times with me, you've talked about this. Everyone is waiting on Juju to explode, literally. So everybody in that bandwagon gonna get real full and real heavy quick. If Juju could string together about 35 point games in a row, she gonna be right there and in there. She's gonna be considered by the general public the best women's basketball player ever immediately. You see how they acted with just that 138 point game. It was like, oh man, it was plastered all over social media, like they won the championship. And but what's gonna happen is that Juju is, when they go to the tournament, they're probably gonna end up losing, and they're gonna end up blaming, oh, she doesn't have enough help. When in reality, this team is much better than their last year team. And their last year team wasn't really bad, but it was moments where they had started like sequestering Juju, where they didn't want to give her the ball because she was shooting so much. If you look at the stats from last year, she had games where she shot 30 sometimes. You know, and a lot of them was in the high 20s. And then I guess someone started talking to her, because she still shoots a lot, but she don't shoot as much, like to a point where it's like egregious. Like she had all them games where she shot 27, 28 times, and she'd be 8 for 27. You'd be like, good God, you know. But for me, it's maybe 5 players on the low end that I think that had better years than Juju, in my opinion, and that's on the low end.
Right. Okay. So let me go back to last year. I was reading just the 2-point shots on the shot attempt. That was excluding threes. But let me give you the overall. After the 51 point, Let me go through it again because I was just reading the 2-point shots. Okay, so overall shot attempts for the game. After the 51-point game last year, 12 for 27, 11 for 25. This is including 2s and 3s. 9 for 23, 12 for 25, 6 for 32. Like, bro. 10 for 19, 10 for 30, 7 for 19, 10 for 22, 5 for 14, 9 for 27, 2 for 15, 8 for 18, 9 for 21, 8 for 28, 9 for 25. This is all last year after the 51 points. That's 2s and 3s. That's horrible, man. That is absolutely brutal and horrible. Like, nah, man. And I'm a fan, but nah, man. Y'all gotta stop this whole black woman stuff just so she can break Caitlin Clark record. You gotta call it down the middle. Juju has not played well this year. I'm sorry.
That's really what it turned into. If you remember, I was with my buddy who was in the hospital, and I told you, I said, man, I had watched LSU play against Iowa, and I said it was the best, most entertaining game I have seen in basketball, period, probably in the last 5 or 7 years. I enjoyed that game when Caitlin Clark played against LSU. And I remember my first thing I told you, I said, but they making it racial. You remember I said that? I said, and this was before anybody said it was. I remember telling KB, it's racial. Everybody, all the black people going for LSU and Angel Reese, and all the white people going for Caitlin Clark and Iowa, and that's just what it was. Now it done exploded. Everybody can see it now. You know, you can look up. There's no reason to be comparing Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark. It just don't even make sense. And for them to be comparing Juju to Caitlin Clark, and they not even in the same bracket, Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, and they still saying Juju with them like they contemporaries or colleagues or something. Juju have to get up there first. We know she going, but you can compare her when she get there and she get established. Caitlin Clark already off and running. They need to be comparing Juju to Hannah Hidalgo now.
She's not. Hannah Hidalgo's by far. Her and Olivia Miles.
Yep.
Lauren Betts.
Yep.
The young lady at Florida State.
It's another one from Auburn. I forgot.
Man, all these girls have been playing better than Juju this year, man. Juju, I'm sorry. I love Juju. I'm a big fan, but Juju does not deserve to be in any talks for a player of the year. I'm sorry. She has not had a good year. I will make another video breaking down the stat pad, but I just wanted to speak on that real quick. Go ahead.
The last part I was gonna say is, again, it's nothing against Juju, but to me, Juju doesn't play winning basketball.
No.
The way she plays is she get buckets. I know people gonna say she play defense and all that great stuff, and that's fine. I ain't got nothing against that. But far as what her number one attribute supposed to be, is supposed to be getting buckets, and the final numbers say, oh, she did okay. But if you look at the flow of the game, it's really not. And if you look at her final shooting stats, they're not impressive at all. So my thing is that stop comparing her to the women that's in the WNBA. She got people that's in college that's playing better than her right now that y'all should be trying to compare her to. I'm not even sure if the girl Kiki ain't having a better year than her. Cause I tell you what, if Juju went on the team, I think that girl Kiki might be one of the leading scorers in college basketball.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. So that's that, man. I just want to speak on that for a few moments about Juju. Again, people, get out your feelings. There's no hate against Juju. We both like Juju. She's very talented, but we had to call it down the middle, man. Juju been playing like, I'm sorry, to me she's been playing like garbage most of the year. I know the numbers may look okay, but she's been stat padding and stuff like that, and I don't respect that, man. I'm just keeping 100, man. But that's that, man. We're gonna catch y'all in the next episode, man. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I know some of y'all gonna be mad, but I don't give a damn. The truth gotta be said, man. We'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm up out of here. All right, good people, man. Appreciate y'all listening to the video. Gotta give a shout out to Mark, man. for taking time to stop by the crib and chopping it up and having a conversation about Juju. I hope nobody's offended, man. We just telling the truth and calling it like it is. We both are big fans of Juju. I'm a big fan of Juju, but she needs to improve on her, her shooting percentage, man. She shoots a lot. Her field goal percentage is too low. I'm not a big field goal percentage guy, but I have to be honest about what she's been doing this year. She's been stat padding a lot. I mean, a ton in blowout games. They up 40 and 50 points. She's in the game in the fourth quarter, shooting late in the fourth quarter, to try to get her numbers up, I guess, to break these records. They want her to pass Caitlin Clark, and, I don't respect that, man. As much as I like Juju, I do not respect the all-out stat padding that she's been doing this year. And it's no hate. I got nothing but love. I cannot stress that enough. I have nothing but the utmost respect and love for Juju, and I'm always gonna be a fan. But stat padding ain't what it is, man. She just needs to improve on the shot selection, shooting percentage, and just playing better basketball, winning basketball. They have a really good team. They've been getting by because they had a pretty weak schedule. Yes, the last couple games, they played a couple ranked teams, but for most of the season, other than UConn, they beat them by 2. They lost to Notre Dame, and they went through a long stretch where they really didn't play anybody. I think they played Ohio State. They beat them. They had a close game with UCLA. They won that, and they won Michigan State and Illinois. Nice wins, but they had a big stretch of games where they wasn't playing nobody, man. We just want Juju to do better. Get the field goal percentage up, shot selection up, and so that she can, just improve her overall game. That's all, man. But that's it, man. Salute to everyone out there, man. Salute to Juju. I hope she improves, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm up out of here.